Hey everybody, another episode of Peter Parker's Gossip Column coming your way. I'm your host Peter Parker, and got quite a lineup of topics to discuss this evening. Starting with the image you see right here on the screen. It's the Punisher Netflix series is set to debut this November.
Personnel. Shift change is at midnight. Miss the boat. You get another shift without pay.
I'm actually really excited about that, just because Iron Fist was so bad. And I'm hoping this will make up for it in some way. Hoping. Not entirely sure if it's going to happen, but if they have some decent writers behind this show, hopefully they'll learn from the mistakes of Iron Fist. I mean, Punisher doesn't have any powers or anything, but as long as it's more of a personal story, like what we got in Daredevil Season 2, it'll be fine. Like, for me, the Punisher has always just been Batman with guns. And that's basically what he's always been. But I know there's different interpretations of all these characters in the comics. But I've never been a fan of the Punisher until Daredevil Season 2, when they really stripped him down to his core. And you got to see who this guy is as a person before he becomes a vigilante. Even though he's already a vigilante in the start of the season, which is fine, but still. Mine and be so much the characters, the actor that really brought his A game, and I think he was brilliant. What's his name? John Bernthal. John Bernthal. So yeah, that's exciting news. Looking forward to that. So this will debut after the Defenders, apparently. I hope the Defenders is good, because Iron Fist is horrible. Horrible. There is no defending that show. If you are defending it, good luck. That was easily the worst. Make Jessica Jones look good. The Nat show was pretty bad too. But anyway, Punisher looks good. I'm excited. I know what I'm going to be watching this winter season. Definitely nothing new Star Wars. So I'm not going to go in order for my topics that I listed in the description box, but here's the next one. So Harley Quinn is coming to the Gotham show. I don't even know what to say about this one. I really don't. Okay, first off, there's no Joker on the show. So Harley Quinn doesn't exist without the Joker. I mean, yes, that Cameron kid, I guess he's the Joker type, but they never called him that, so I'm like, is he Joker or is he someone else? This show has really taken a interesting turn from what it could have been. Could have really been a really cool show about cops in Gotham with Batman in the background. But it just became something else entirely. I'll admit, I watched this a lot this past week on TV. It's incredibly goofy. It's ridiculous. I honestly don't know how this stupid show was still in the air. I mean, people crack on Smallville. At least Smallville had a purpose the whole time. Had a set plan about what the writers wanted to do with Clark Kent. And he actually developed across the series. Clark wasn't like 10 years old, with Lex Luthor and everybody else running around. No one to stop him. Right? Crazy part of Bruce Wayne doesn't really get any development in the show. That's part of why it's so bad. It's such a waste. There's no denying that the show is pretty bad. I'm just, just. Harley Quinn, didn't she only show up on Arrow? I don't remember. But like, seriously, come on. That's what I'm talking about. They're just throwing in stuff because they have no ideas left. Just like freaking Disney with Star Wars and the damn Death Star stuff again. Like, how much you want to bet it's going to be something that's going to blow up in episode 8? How much you want to bet? Like Harley Quinn, Mr. Freeze, Joker, Penguin. Penguin's the only one that should actually exist before Batman. That makes sense. Because he's always been like a mobster type. But Mr. Freeze, he even had a freaking young Harvey Dent on the show at one point, I think. I think season 1. He hasn't shown up since, but how much you want to bet he's going to come back and be Two-Face? The show is really silly, but it's whatever, I guess. But another villain that's coming to Gotham, the show, Ghul. Haven't seen him since Batman Begins. I'm hoping this version is better than the one from Arrow, because the one in Arrow is kind of forgettable. It's kind of bland. Doesn't really seem, very racial ghoulish. I don't remember what his plan was in that show, because it was just so shallow, It was poorly done.
What do you think you're doing?
I don't know. It just seems like it's a waste of a character, you know. Here's the thing. Here's how the episode played out. This crazy guy was brainwashing Wayne, and Alfred comes in out of nowhere, trying to like help Wayne out or whatever. Alfred shoots the guy, and his dying words are to seek out the demon's head. And if you know the comics, you know demon's head means Ra's al Ghul. So he's coming. The guy said that he was very eager to meet Wayne. I'm like, okay, so Ra's al Ghul is basically immortal because of the Lazarus pit. So that kind of makes sense for him to be around now. I don't know how I feel about him interacting with the young Bruce Wayne. But does that make any sense to anybody? And granted, he was like in his 20s in Batman Begins when he was training him. So maybe he's going to train him. I don't know. Maybe they are going to make him Batman. Who knows? I just don't like all these villains on the show with no one to actually fight them. Not just physically, but intellectually as well. Because Gordon is, he's a regular dude. And Batman's a regular guy too, but he has the smarts and the fighting skills and the gadgets to take on someone like Mr. Freeze or Clayface. Like, what the hell is Gordon going to do against Clayface if he shows up? Or Killer Croc? I mean, come on. Oh my gosh. I just don't understand. But moving on. So apparently the early reviews for Wonder Woman are in. And they're overwhelmingly positive. Which I think is a little bull. Because the movie's even out for another 10 minutes. According to my clock over here, it's 11:53. It's not officially out until Friday morning. So until the actual movie hits theaters and people start seeing it after opening weekend, then I'll start believing the reviews. Till then, I don't really care. Because people always hype stuff up. Batman v Superman hyped up for years. The movie stunk, right? Like, there is no, the movie stunk. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. There's no, no sugarcoating it. The movie stunk. Could have been so much more than what it is. I wanted to mention something about Baywatch. I'm not really going to review the movie because there's not much to review. But Zac Efron, hear me out for a minute here. I think he could play the ideal Peter Parker. I mean, if we're talking about a college-age SpiderMan instead of this high school musical crap that Sony keeps doing with this Holland kid. If we're talking about college, a more mature, older Spider-Man, Zac Efron can pull it off. He's got the look. He can act. And he's young. He's in shape too, so don't have to worry about that. He can act. I mean, sure, you can make fun of him for High School Musical, but you gotta start somewhere, And those movies aren't bad, so it's not like it's gonna stain his reputation or whatever in Hollywood. And I was just watching Baywatch the other day, and I'm like, this guy can act, man. He's come a long way from them High School Musical films. I'm like, if I was casting for a new Spider-Man film, I'd cast him. I'd check other people first, but yeah, he'd probably be my top 5. Or if they were like Logan Lerman or Dylan O'Brien. So, moving on. The SonyVerse, apparently the Silver Sable Black Cat film It's going to include multiple villains, including Kraven the Hunter. I'm like, what the frick? Allow me to explain how stupid this sounds. I can't believe people are actually on board with this. Like, you do realize this is going to destroy the Spider-Man franchise, right? You do realize that even if Homecoming is great, this is going to kill everything. It's going to destroy everything. Like I said before about the Venom movie or whatever, the failure of that film is going to have effects for years to come that people don't see now, but it will show up later. That's what the ripple effect is. You throw a pebble into the water moves over it, you know? It paves over it. So they make a mistake now. You won't see it right away, but it will come up later. You know, Sony's gonna have no one to blame but themselves. Like, seriously, Silver Sable is a mercenary, Black Cat is a thief. Those two kind of groups don't go together. Silver Sable will kill Black Cat. That's what she does. She's not a nice person. Black Cat. I watched Comic Book Cast talking about the movie. One of the dudes said that Black Cat might be on the run or some crap. Whatever, man. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Like, first off, who was she running from? Two, I can't even form any friggin' words how stupid this is. Oh, I hate you, Sony. Like, next, sorry I got here. Try not to make this too long of a video. Just want to get some news out there, you know? Transformers has a Bumblebee spinoff movie coming next year in 2018 or something. I'm like, what? I'm sorry, Vio, but I gave up on those movies a long time ago. The first one might be the only decent one in the actual series. The rest of them are crap. Revenge of the Dark or something, Dark of the Sun, or whatever it's called. The last one, Age of Extinction. Well, Extinction is what this series is. So, at least that one's accurate. But a Bumblebee spinoff sounds ridiculous. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's just, these companies are stuck in these little boxes of doing the same thing over and over again. Star Wars being the biggest example, the best example. They can't get away from the original trilogy. Or the original trilogy characters like freaking Han Solo. What's that? You got a big-ass Star Wars universe? A galaxy to explore? Let's do movies about the same 5 characters that you've already seen a bunch of times already. Let's tell everybody about the baby years of Han Solo. People want to see that, right? The frick? Yeah, let's tell an origin story about R2-D2. Oh, wait, we did that already. Wait, let's tell an origin story about Darth Maul. Oh, wait, no one cares. You see what I'm saying? Bumblebee spinoff. What's next? A Chaz spinoff from the Transformers films. Didn't he get ripped in half or something? I don't remember. I haven't seen those movies in years. I don't miss them, so there's that. But yeah, Bumblebee movie, not watching, don't care. And last topic of the evening, an Uncharted film was on the way. And you never guessed this, but Tom Holland has been cast as young Nathan Drake. No. Like, seriously, man? There's no one else they could have picked besides this kid. What is he like? He was not even 20 years old. Are you serious? Nathan Drake's a grown-ass man. I mean, unless he's just in the flashbacks, which is fine. The flashback didn't start till like the 3rd game and the 4th one, where they randomly gave him a brother that came out of nowhere. That part I didn't like about the fourth one. I still haven't beaten it yet, but I'll get there eventually. At the moment, I don't really care. But yeah, I don't need established characters to have random siblings or be turned into little kids. Especially since they're saying that's going to be a prequel to the games. Like, what? Why? Why not just adapt one of the stories from the games? Or just make another game? There's a Tomb Raider game movie coming out too. Like, why not just make another game? Stop with these freaking video game movies. They don't work. Have you learned nothing from Assassin's Creed? These video game movies do not work. Stop making them. You're gonna make them. At least get someone who looks like Nathan Drake. Jeez. How many dudes are there in freaking Hollywood? We gotta find someone who at least looks like Nathan freaking Drake. Damn. Yeah. So I'm keeping it short and simple tonight, kids. I really don't have anything else to say at the moment about any of these topics. Silver Sable movie is gonna be a mess. Bumblebee film is gonna be a failure. Uncharted movies probably not gonna get any actual Uncharted fans to watch it because this movie sounds ridiculous. Punisher is the only thing I'm actually excited for out of all the things I've talked about briefly in this episode of Gossip Column. And yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do with Rachel Ghul and Gotham, but I'm not watching 2 hour finale of that show. Maybe I'll tune in for a little bit just to see what Rachel Ghul shows up in the middle or something, but no, maybe I'll watch it. I don't know. Can't be worse than the Flash finale, I'll tell you that. Oh man, terrible, terrible. The whole season was awful, but that finale was terrible. Oh my god. It's hard to believe it's the same show that I have. Hard to believe it's the same show from season one. That's spun off of season one, but I don't have on Blu-ray. The show is taking a serious nosedive, and it's never going to come back to the way it was. It's a shame. Whether or not Barry's gone, the show is still going to have the same problems that it's always had. But yeah, I digress. So that's it for this episode of Gossip Column. I will see you next time. Wait, got myself a viewer. So yeah, till next time.